What I'm going to show you today is about 6 to 7 games that you can adjust to your lesson, whether you are teaching online or offline, whether you're teaching English as a foreign language or science or math, and just engage your students, make your lessons less predictable, more diverse and fun. If you find this tutorial helpful, you might be interested to see other content on my channel. There are tutorials on the best educational apps, strategies to make your virtual lessons more engaging, and much more. Pass the Paper is probably my favorite game. When I used to teach, I probably overuse it. It's so easy and it engages the students. And this is how it works. Students pass the paper around the classroom when the music is playing. When the music stops, a question appears. In this case, we have an image of a hospital. I think I used that game when we were studying city vocabulary. So whoever has the paper at this point would stand up and name the picture. The game will continue, the music will carry on, the students will pass the paper, then the music will stop. Whoever has the paper ball will name the city place. Instead of pictures, you can use questions, let students finish up the sentence. In a virtual class, what I used to do, because as you can imagine, we cannot pass the paper, I will share my screen, making sure that I share the sound of my computer so students hear the sound, share either just PowerPoint or my entire screen. I had students stand up one by one, and they would stand up, they will sit down while the music is playing, and then when the music stops, whoever is standing will have to answer the question or finish the sentence. Great game to use as a starter of your lesson, or as a transition, or if you just have a couple of minutes left in your class and you don't want to start a new topic. Good way to wrap up the lesson and finish the class on a high note. Hidden Pictures would be my second best game, just because again it's so simple, it's so powerful, and this is how it works. You take an image or a concept from your previous lesson or something you want to elicit from your students, you hide it behind the squares, and then in the physical classroom you just project it on the projector. In a virtual environment, I would share my screen, and then you start removing these squares and eliciting answers from your students. Say for example that in the previous class we learned city transport, and I would like to start my class by reviewing the vocabulary. I would hide some city transport behind those squares. I would remove a couple of tiles and have students think, pair and share what they think is hidden. Once they get the picture right, I can have them spell it. We will move on to the next picture. Again, I will start removing. They will start recapping the vocabulary. Is it a bus? Is it the subway? What is this? Is it, oh, it's probably a train. You can use it as an icebreaker. You can use it in the middle of the class to break up the monotonous nature of some lessons. Great way to engage students. When you want to customize Hidden Pictures game, all you need to do is grab one of the tiles, move it a little bit to the side so you can select the initial picture, then click delete on your keyboard or right click and click cut. Select the picture that you want to insert. Next thing, you want to make sure that it covers as much of the screen as possible. Next step is to right click send it to back. Move the tile back to its original space and change the title to whatever you want. Next on the list we have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, or a Jeopardy game. You have a couple of categories, and then you have questions that vary in difficulty. Once you click on the 300 space, this will take you to the question, then students will need to answer. Once they answer the question correctly, they get $300 or points. Then we click on return. This will take us back to the initial screen. To customize the template, simply scroll down the questions in each category and retype the wording, insert the pictures. You will notice that each question has a corresponding color. This future will have green color, space will have a pink, and so forth. So it's easy for you to find the appropriate category and customize it. Trackers basically track the progress of your class. When they give you the right answer, they score the point. In this example, we have 4 teams. When the yellow team gets the answer right, they score the point. When the blue team gets the answer right, they get the point. Trackers also allow you to discourage certain behaviors in a physical classroom or in a virtual classroom. If students misbehave, you can take away some points. Let's have a look at a more advanced tracker called Connect 4 in Space. In this game, a team will win when they connect 4. You will lead your class as you would normally do, asking student questions, eliciting some content, and then once a student gets the answer right, they will have to pick a square. If student picks D2, we will click D2 and then select blue or red, depending on their team. Once we select blue, we can carry on the lesson, and once you have another good answer from another student and you want to recognize the answer, they can pick another square. Let's say they are from the blue team again, so hopefully they will get the idea of the game and select one of the squares close to the initial square so they connect 4. Another time, a student from a red team gets the answer right and they want to intersect the blue team and they will select D4. In this communication game, students work in groups to explain what makes one item or concept stand out from the rest. First, you present students with a category and a couple of items belonging to this category. A teacher then gives students a couple of minutes to work in teams or pairs to think creatively and develop a legitimate explanation of what makes one thing unique and not like the other. In this example, students will need to pick one hobby, for example, playing the guitar, and find ways in which playing the guitar is not like the other 3 hobbies. Clicking on the category will trigger a music theme which serves as a timer for a group discussion. In a virtual lesson, you'll probably have students join breakout rooms for discussions. Once the time is up, the entire class gets together again, and each group takes a turn to present their answers. You as a teacher serve as a judge to decide which explanation is the most creative and unique. The team that provided the winning explanation gets a point and the game continues. One thing is not like how that encourages students to go beyond basic recalling of definitions and factual information. It gets them to synthesize ideas and think outside the box. That's all we have time for today. Next time, we'll look at another 5 PowerPoint games that you can add to your teaching toolbox to make learning fun and engaging. Until the next time, bye bye.